Hello, welcome in, guys. I don't know why I used to welcome in. It's like, hey, welcome into our coffee shop, Houston Coffee Collective Coffee Shop Podcast.
The barista life. Welcome in.
Welcome in, guys. It's just that natural. You're at a fucking place and you're just like, hey, welcome in. It's not even, you're not even working. But thank you for checking us out. Today is the first episode, our first recording of the official Houston Coffee Collective podcast.
Lovely.
Yeah, we're shooting it here at Eden. I'm here with Lexa from my co-director.
Today.
Today?
Well, co-director for the media team at Houston Coffee Collective.
Yeah.
There you go.
We're going to be heading the media team.
Yeah.
So I thought it would be fitting to have the first podcast being both of us.
Yeah.
Yes. And you're the newly owner or co-owner of
1,000 Mile Coffee Co.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's co-founder. Clay founded it, and he recruited me and JR as co-owners.
Nice.
I like it.
As directors, you're not only director of media, you're director of.
Oh, I'm not director of vibes. I'm operations manager.
Yeah.
JR is the director of vibes, creative director, and Clay is the business savvy guy.
Nice. And then you guys are for this one is going to be specifically for Houston Coffee Collective. You guys are organizing a photo walk in Galveston, right?
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's me, Lev, Clay, and Carlos. They're all photographers. Not everybody's in the coffee community, but we did meet in the photography community. So we organized a Galveston photo walk. I did it last year, and I wanted to bring on Houston Coffee Collective this year because their space is growing so much.
Yes.
And so I thought, why not combine both? Last year we had hit like 2 coffee spots. It was Red Light Coffee Roasters and Mod Coffee, and I thought, why not make it a low-key caffeine crawl? Bye.
Bye.
¿Mande? Oh, sí. Good night.
Thank you.
But yeah, Galveston. And it's like a low-key caffeine crawl, but it's not an official. It's more like if you want to get coffee, these are available to you, and that's what Coffee Collective does. It's bring awareness to coffee shops in the area. So Galveston is definitely one of those.
That and like tying other hobbies or like
Coffee Plus.
Yes, I would say extracurricular activities.
Extracurricular activities. Yes. Hobbies.
I mean, like here we're at Eden. This is like for plants hobbyists. You guys also host like jazz night, and there's so many people in the coffee community that love like art, that love like fashion.
Oh yeah.
I was told to call it attire as opposed to merch. Whenever people are selling, it's much more. I wouldn't say fancier. Proper.
Formal?
Thank you. A proper formal way of saying it, as opposed to just saying merch.
I guess.
Yeah. Because like you would think of merch as.
I think of merch of like band merch.
Yeah.
Or like fandom merch. So like, I don't know, like K-pop and stuff like that.
Okay. See, because like with attire, I feel like it's more like deliberate. Because you're like, especially for streetwear, you can't just literally put anything on. You kind of can, but it's also like, you have to have like a deliberate style. You're trying to hit with. Yeah. And that, and then like BMXing and like bicycling. We're thinking about doing something with coffee and bikes. Hopefully next month.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds cool.
Hopefully one day. I'm going to learn how to ride a bike one day. I keep talking about this, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen.
Bro.
Yeah.
You got to learn.
I feel dumb, but...
Now you run though, right?
I do run.
Yeah. Are we doing anything with runners?
We, right now, because we are doing the 5K, we just hit 5K on our Instagram, so we are going to set up a 5K for the Houston Coffee Collective core members. Coincidentally enough, today is also Tuesday. I go to Run Club literally at 7 on Tuesdays, so I've been doing a lot of that and trying to help build connections with that as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. It's actually, Axel Ride is a really fun run club. If you guys ever are free on Tuesday, 7 p.m., so you guys should come through. I'll be there most of the time.
I have to practice for that 5K now, so I might as well pull through.
Everyone has to practice a 5K. Look at you too, Israel. Don't be slacking. You're going to run that. But with this episode, this is also going to be an intro episode to a lot of people, like not only for us to get to know us as personalities, but also to get to know what really Houston Coffee Collective does for community. Like we started out, I started out almost a year ago now, I think.
Okay.
It's been a lot of work. I think our first interview with JR
From Fifth Vessel.
From Vessel.
Fifth Vessel.
Fifth Vessel
I
was
love
like
Fifth Vessel.
almost a year ago now. I don't even really remember the details,
That's
but
crazy.
it just all happened spontaneous and all because Asia was like, you know what, this page is not active right now, and I want to take over and see what happens. And now we've helped garner a lot of like steamrolling towards garnering like audience, dedicated like team members like you.
Yeah.
Chipley came back. Josie's handling a lot of like the nonprofit work as well.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
we're able to recruit Israel as well. We're doing the camera work, equipment. I'm thinking about one day holding a team to myself and having like talent.
Hell yeah.
What are some of like your expectations for media as we're kind of getting into like becoming a full nonprofit?
I think I'm just focused on the growth at the moment. I want to make sure like we recruit people who are passionate not only about coffee but also what their craft, what they're doing. So I just want to make, and also I want people to take their turns, because I know people are multidisciplinary disciplines, I guess.
Yeah.
So a lot of people can like video but also like photography and like also like participating on social media. So I want to make sure everybody gets their chance to shine, you know.
Even like I don't know why they just came into my thought. Even like people who want to practice like I can't think of it just now. I literally just lost it.
Interviews or blogging or
not just blogging, but graphic design as well.
yeah.
Because we offer
yeah.
like posters. Like if you're able to graphic design for posters that we usually have for like events.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess making room for like people to grow in their craft as well. Like, yeah, that's basically what I'm focused on. Obviously, when you do that, when you focus on growing with the people, your community is going to grow.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that Houston Coffee Collective grows because of these people that we recruit.
Yeah, and then they put in the effort that we kind of put into them. But that, I don't want to make it sound like in a parasitic kind of way. I just hope that we all find like a nice collective balance. Yeah. Because I feel like a lot of ecosystems and or industry ecosystems demand a lot of like knit and balance to it, but some of the people that work in the industry, like I work as a bartender as well. Bartending is like super chaotic, especially depending on the bar that you work at, and that kind of translates the same to like coffee, where like certain bars that you work at can be like super chaotic, and it's like that morning rush, and you're only open for the morning, and there's like some coffee shops that stay open a little bit later, so you get some like the nice chill like cafe vibes, and it's like all a small balance in how we operate with each coffee shop owners, each baristas.
I think it's important to note also that you're describing a job, and this is technically a job, but this is an unpaid, this is volunteer work. So you do have to have the drive and the passion for it. You're not getting paid for this, so you want to be here because you want to be here. We're not getting paid for any of this. This is all everything up to now. Has been literally a passion project, and like crying at night. It's like, am I good enough? Hey, I didn't do all that.
But it's just a thing where like for me personally, because I'm putting myself out there and I'm kind of creating myself into like this personality, and that kind of goes with a lot of stress of like, if I do put myself too much into this personality and people hate me, like, does that mean that my personality is just like a shitty person? So it's like I
beg to differ. I think not everybody is gonna like you in this life. Therefore, you should put yourself out there however you are, and your real friends will let you know, like, hey, this isn't right, or so you should be. You'll be fine. You're fine.
It's easy on paper on paper it's like I can internalize that as like, yes, this is all true. But sometimes deep at night, and it's like you're playing too much League of Legends. It's like, fuck, I hate my life.
You want to ask the first question?
We kind of already answered this. Like, why is like one of the reasons you want to do Houston Coffee Collective, but it's also like, what got you into Houston Coffee Collective? What was like the event that you saw and was like, holy moly, I want to help these guys out? I actually didn't attend an event or truly really know about Houston Coffee Collective until I started researching the 1,000 Mile Coffee Co. like stuff going on, like the business side. So we were buying the espresso machine from Eden, and that's when my business partners ran into Asia,
And I was like, who's Asia? And they were saying, oh, Asia runs the Coffee Collective. And I'm like, what is the Coffee Collective? I've never heard of this. And so I looked them up on Instagram, and sure enough, and this was back in December. So you said you had been here a year ago. I just started like not even 4 months ago. So everything is relatively new, and y'all seem pretty established when I got here. So for me to hop on and help out wherever I can, that seemed very intriguing to me. And so I actually finally met Asia at a collage night with Real Quick Film Lab, which is also a part of the photography photo walk in Galveston.
This Saturday.
Yeah.
April
27th at 3 p.m. And I met her, and we basically got to talking, and I was like, I would love to help with media along with Paulina. Paulina's also a photographer, and we were like, let's go, like we want to help out. And that's how I basically got in it. And I love social media, and I love photography, and so I was thinking, if they need help with content, if they need help with like events, like coverage, I would love to do something like that. And that was where it basically led to.
Was owning a coffee shop like one of your lifetime goals, or like you just said, like you like social media? Did you ever think about becoming an influencer, or because some people now easily like grow up and it's like, I want to be an influencer, I want to be wholly a personality. Was that ever like a thought in your mind, or like I could be personality, or I just want to be like humble, have my, not to say that personalities aren't humble.
I never really thought of like being like an influencer. I just thought if I put myself out there on social media, like they show my face. Well, actually, it started more like photographers on Instagram will tell you that they have to niche down in order to make money and have their specific audience. So what they were telling me marketing wise on Instagram was like, you have to show your face, and people have to know who you are in order to like get to know you authentically. And so I started to do that so I could get more clients. People show off their faces on Instagram to be themselves. And then people started calling me a micro influencer, and I was like, that's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to like book clients. I'm just trying to make sure they know me. And he's really shaking his head. And
we have some doubters.
No, that is the real reason why I started showing my face more often, is because I wanted to be able to live off of my photography. And slowly but surely I realized I didn't really want to do that anymore. I don't think living off of my photography was really the point of everything. But it was too late, and I already showed on my face. So I made it like the personality, like, hey, I'm here, look at my photos. What was the question?
That was like, did you ever have like a thought to like become an influencer, or was one of your lifetime goals to like open up a coffee shop and have a brick and mortar?
So basically what ended up happening is on Instagram, as I was showing my face more often, I would started to travel more into Houston as I got older. So around like 2019, the COVID era.
Where were you born, or where were you from?
I was born in Pasadena, Texas. Pasadena. Pasadena. And I've been there my whole life. But I started to travel more to Houston when I got my car back in like 2018. And then quarantine hit, and I started exploring more coffee shops somehow during quarantine. So I would show up with my mask, and I saw these like coffee shops shut down, not at their fullest form. And I got to like see a bunch of like, I got to see Agora. I got to see like everything for the first time, and I was like, "This is so cool! Everything's like so like, this is a whole new world."
It's eerily similar into how I got into coffee, because I used to work at Perez off Rice Village.
I went there too. Yeah, I was like, "Wow, this is so cool."
I had left during the pandemic actually, because I was just going through a lot back then. I always go through a lot for some reason.
That's life, though.
That's life. Yeah. But I ended up just leaving during the pandemic. And then I got into like, because I was a general manager, and I got into general managing work again, and I was like, I kind of hate this. This is horrible. And then I was like, maybe it was the coffee shop vibes that I really enjoyed about my job. So I started working at Luce. And then started getting into coffee, and I was like, wow, I'm actually decently good at it, and people seem to like me as a personality. And that's how it all steamrolled from the pandemic and onto a coffee barista guy. I
had never been a barista before 2022. But it was always like a low-key dream dream of mine. I have like a lot of dreams like that I want to accomplish, and one of them was I had always wanted to work at Starbucks. I always wanted to make coffee. I'm like, I'm gonna learn how to make coffee one day.
Dude, one of my friends, he was talking to me last week, just to cut you off again, but like he works in the tech industry, but he was like, I'm thinking about picking up a part-time working at a server at a coffee shop. And I was like, why? And I was like,
it's
I don't know. It's just this feeling. It's like it looks fun.
You get to meet so many new people, and you get to compliment them, and they get to see you and meet you, and it's only for like a little moment, but it's like it's so nice to like just talk to people.
It is very deeply rewarding, but not to give the wrong illusion to people, it is also deeply hurting depending on the situations and places that you work.
Yeah, of course.
Not every party is gonna have the same. Because like I was just saying this. Like I had a
negative.
No, I have like generally really good views of the coffee shops that I used to work at.
Yeah.
Even though I may have experienced certain bad things there because of some people and stuff like that, or myself. But it's also like I never leave those spots thinking I hate those spots. But there are some people that do.
Yeah, it's a little traumatic for some people. Yeah, which is a little sad.
But. And then the industry, like that can be bartending or barista. It all can be, not to say toxic, but it can all be misinterpreted if not handled correctly.
Yeah, exactly. That perfect words.
Yeah.
No.
Very really. Bipartisan words. Yes.
No, definitely. But So this is gonna go more into like the religious stuff. Is that okay? Okay. So I was.
What religion?
No, religious. Like so, basically going off of the question that you asked earlier, like had I always wanted to do a coffee shop. I had known for a minute that I wanted to help build community in some way, and it was because I had been discerning for a long time, and I didn't know what to do. And so eventually, like, I got into baristing, and I was like, I love this. I love talking to people. I love to, like, do this kind of thing. And I realized, praying, like, I would like to open up a coffee shop one day. And so I made that kind of, like, the goal, like, set in mind as I continued being a barista. Because, you know, being a barista is not necessarily a lifetime job. It's seen in, like, old-fashioned eyes. Like, if you're in the food service industry, people kind of treat you.
It's like a transition job. People still think about it.
Exactly. And so I never really thought of it as a career. However, I was like, I'm here because I want to pick up the skill set to eventually get into the coffee shop world and be a business owner. And so, hold on, we're gonna pause this.
Well, I think we were just talking about I don't know if we already answered this, or we kind of like gibbered on through this. Like, what does a coffee community mean to you? Because you were just talking about a little bit of like religions, like that kind of driving you to open up a coffee shop, right?
Yeah. Well, I think the idea of creating a community, and I don't think necessarily that it would have. I think based off of the job that I had at the time and the way that I felt about it, I felt really good, and I feel really good as a barista. I'm leaning more towards coffee shop helps build community, and there's a way of thinking of it as a metaphor. When people come into the shop, it's almost like they come into your life for a season, and then they can leave whenever they want, and then we close, at the end of the day. So it's kind of like people will leave and then come back if they want, and if they like the shop. It's very much like
an artist perspective. You speak of a very much artistic life, and I like that. It's very cute. I feel like I come at it really realistically because I'm just jaded from the entire industry.
Oh no!
I've worked at like high values all the time. Just like in my certain areas that I've worked at, so it's like burdensome to have people.
You.
Yeah, but I'm just a different person.
Well, this is barely my second barista position, and technically first management position. My first barista position was, thankfully, I was so blessed to have this amazing manager, and I think they work now at Cabrinian. Is that how you say it? I don't know.
Cambria?
Cambria? Is that it?
The car accident.
The car accident.
Yeah.
I believe they work there now, but because of their management style and the way that they manage us, I was like, I was just so enthusiastic about the job. I never woke up in the morning thinking I hate this job.
Yeah.
I woke up every morning like I can't wait to
Let
go.
me hit this guardrail
and
real quick.
I stayed at that job for like 2 years, and I loved it. I thought it was great.
That's good. I mean, you would hope to have jobs like that.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so for me to have that first experience as that, I knew I was spoiled. I knew it because I would hear like horror stories about like certain things, and I'm just like, I don't have that. I don't get that at all.
Yeah. I even, like I was saying earlier, like even though I have like some of these horror stories and I just keep it to myself, but it's like I've learned so much of those coffee shops.
Exactly.
Like, that or even like going back to like when I started at Sonic, I hated working at Sonic.
Yeah,
like literally one of my first jobs. But you talking about your manager, I remember my manager, like my first ever manager and thing was like, he is cool about the things that need to be cool, and he's stern about the things that need to be stern about. And that's something that I've always idolized about like working in the industry, because like people are gonna mess up.
Yeah.
Like, speaking from experience from certain coffee shops, you weren't even allowed to make yourself a drink. You had to buy them, and you had to like pay for them and everything. And it's like, it just feels weird now that I work at a coffee shop where I can get free drinks, not free coffee drinks. It feels a little bit more liberating. It's like, they kind of care about me.
Yeah.
So there's like small little gestures like that where they're cool about what needs to be cool and stern what needs to be stern about.
I love it.
One day if I ever own a coffee shop, it will be like that.
Hey, good. I'm glad. I'm so happy to hear that.
So with 1000 Mile, what are some community events that you guys want to partake in? Because I know you just had your soft launch a few days ago.
Yeah, that was great. But I do want to have something a little bigger. So right now, the cart is in my kitchen basically, and so the next one I would love to plan out, and I still have to talk to, I already mentioned it to them, but I would love to talk to my business partners about having almost like a party in the back. And I was telling you earlier, but I would love to like invite everybody, just have like a flyer and like, hey, this is my house, come over to the backyard.
Please don't dox me. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. We'll cut that out.
Don't tell anybody where I live. However, come out, show up. I'll work the whole event for you, because I would love to like serve you coffee, and I'm sure my business partners would as well. I love the idea of that.
And this is just like a nice way to have like the entire community just like come through, show support. That is like something. One of the reasons why I got into Coffee Collective was like, I love the idea of working within a community. Like people just ask for help like liberally, and like, yeah, I got you, dog, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I love that. But I would love to like help out with other stuff, or I would love for me and my business partners to like participate in other community events. And I don't really know what exactly we could help with when it comes to like vending. Maybe the 5K. Maybe like if we have a specific location, people want to come out and show up, maybe we could vend there. You never know.
Do you guys want to keep it to like coffee truck, a coffee cart, or do you guys ever think about owning like a specific brick and mortar?
I believe we want brick and mortar. I believe that.
What's your what's your ideal location?
So I think it's different for all of us, and we haven't like spoken on it yet because it's a little too soon. We just did soft launch. But for me, I would adore like no drive-through.
No drive-through. Hell yeah. Black and white coffee only. No, one seasonal, and it's curated. And we do have one-in-ones.
I guess kind of like this. There's no drive-through. There's limited parking, which is unfortunate for the Houston area because we're a commuter city. However, I think with the right spot, where you worked at Sweet Perez. Yeah. It's Rice Village. They basically, you park in a certain spot and you walk over to the shop, and it's almost European in a sense. So you get to sit out on the patio, and you're gonna chill there for a little bit, and then you're gonna leave. You're not gonna hang out there all day. No Wi-Fi. Like I don't.
Sorry. That is something that I've heard from a different friend of mine who is from London, and he's talking about like the cafe culture there, where like you sit down, you shoot like an espresso, you drink your drink, and then you head out. Yeah.
Or you have a small meeting, or you have a cute date, like and then you leave. Like don't stick around. Like
no offense, we love you when you guys sit down for like 3 hours.
Like please buy something if you're gonna sit down for 3 hours. But yeah, I like the idea of that, and so it would kind of be almost like a hole in the wall, but not too big. And so, yeah, I like the idea of the European style taking over in that sense. Yeah.
But what, are you located in Rice Village?
No, well, I don't know about
If
Rice
you had
Village.
to choose specifically what location or what area of the city, fuck it, you know what? What country would you love it? Yeah, we'll go that deep.
You know, if it was here, in this, I'm just speaking on my front, not necessarily the 1,000 Mile Coffee Co. Like, for me, if I was to own a coffee shop, I would want it to be in my hometown. It would be in Pasadena. Because Pasadena does not have a lot of coffee shops. They have like one. And like one coffee truck.
Yeah.
And I think they deserve good coffee, especially since that's where I'm from.
Yeah.
So,
it's always good to give back to the community.
I love giving back to where I came from because, you know, that's where I started. And even if it was like bad at some points, like I would love to like show someone some good because maybe someone else is going through what I used to go through. So to be able to say like, hey, here's something good about this hometown. That's it for me.
You know, I never thought about it, but I kind of would like to do that with something with like, because I grew up in, when I was really young, you know where Plaza America is?
Yeah.
I lived in one of those apartments back when it used to be called Sharpstown Mall.
Oh my God.
Yeah. If I ever had the chance to give back and like make a community prosper again, it would probably be that area just because I have like weird nostalgic feelings about that place.
Exactly. I'm all
And my
about the
sister kind of
nostalgia.
still stays in the area. So they'd be like, you know what? It would be nice to have like a community, you know, a cafe for all the boys.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
We're gonna have a glass window where only us can sit down and you have to watch us.
Ayo.
Our own private table.
Okay.
Yeah. What is currently right now with starting 1,000 Mile? What has been like your hardest challenge? Has that come yet, or are you fearful of like when you guys start that brick and mortar and have to get through all this permit hell?
You know, I don't think the brick and mortar is going to happen for another like couple of years. But lately, I think it's just starting up in general. That's been difficult. And I think it's time. We keep wanting things to come like really quickly, and it hasn't happened. And I have to remind myself like patience is a virtue, and especially when you're starting up a business, like you have to get all the finances together, you have to get all the paperwork together, and then you have to, because we're co-owners, we have to wait on everybody else's schedule.
Yeah.
And not necessarily like if you're the one owner, you're working on your own time. This one we have to like make sure we're like doing things diligently and as a unit. So it's kind of, that is where we're trying to like make sure we're doing good at.
I feel like that's one of the issues we kind of run into here at Houston Coffee Collective. 'Cause like we said, we're all currently volunteer work. So it is hard to us just like to take out like full days to do certain events for Houston Coffee Collective when we could be working. But that hopefully within the next coming like month or two, we become a nonprofit and are able to, hopefully that gets cut out. We become a nonprofit and are able to actually start having some revenue come in, and then at some point with nonprofit work, we're able to actually give back a lot of like the, as far as I know, I'm dumb. So I don't know why I got chosen to be a director because I'm dumb. I'm just.
Why are you like this? Don't say that.
I'm just a boy. But hopefully now that we're gonna get like an excess of revenue, we're able to give back a lot to the coffee community. Because like some of the things that we want to do is something that I'm kind of like personally passionate about, like giving out like almost like grants and scholarships to baristas to actually go to competition. Because like, I've known friends that literally spent thousands of dollars to go to certain places, and you know, just because of traveling plans, they never even got to go out. And it's like, that's thousands of dollars they could have used, like medical bills, they could have used on rent, they could have used on anything, their car.
They decided to do that.
But they decided to stake out their entire like reputation, their livelihood on going to this competition. And it's like
so crazy.
It's kind of fucked up. And it's hopefully with Houston Coffee Collective we're able to start like giving back to the community and giving out not just to like baristas, to even hobbyists as well. It's like that's a lot of like our core audience right now, is getting those in-betweeners from like
enthusiasts and actual baristas and coffee roasters and coffee shops, coffee investors,
like people who are into real estate have a lot of coffee meetings.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So you know, it's generally practiced. Oh, that sounds weird. It's
Generally practiced. Yeah.
It's just. Well, I mean, you don't practice drinking coffee.
I definitely practice every day. I practice, but
the slurping, the cup tasters. But for like our general audience, they don't really practice coffee culture, but they like you said, they come in and they have like a slice of the coffee culture. So they're just as part of the community as we are. So it's good to find ways to have them be supportive of us and us be supportive of them.
Yeah.
So like maybe one day, like if we ever get enough excess revenue, funds, we are able to send like people who are just coffee shop owners, hey, you want a raffle to go to Coffee Fest?
And that'd be really cool.
It might be dumb, it might be cute, and it might be really like something meaningful to someone. So
I like
that's something that I hope to one day we get to.
People always like to win stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
Yeah, like latte art competitions, like sometimes people don't have like the facilities to train. Like I have a friend actually who works at Wild Montrose with me. She's a bartender, never worked in a coffee shop before. Her latte art skills is so good, and she's only literally watched people. She knows her muscle memories. She's come from personal training. She's done a lot of the bartending work, so she just memories look. Yeah, she just does. And I was like, this is really good. You could literally compete.
Nice. It must be nice.
It really could be nice. And it's like, but it's like one of those things where you don't know someone could be good at a different type of industry. Like a bartender could love the way bartending works, but hate that specific industry and just switch to barista. Could like be similar. That perfect mode. Yeah.
I like that. Very nice.
Here's a little gimmicky question.
Oh, okay.
We talked about this before a little bit right off the camera, so it's not that much of a surprise. Say in the future we're able to make barbecue latte and it becomes like super popular. That like Lay's barbecue chips, or you know what? Sea salt. Oh, people already do this. Never mind. Sea salt. Yeah, sea salt lattes.
I actually really like the sea salt vanilla.
That's why I stopped myself. It's like because like, people also do like salted caramel, and that's also really good.
Yeah.
But we're gonna keep it to like, okay, how about pizza lattes? And people seem like, you know what? This really is so good. Do you think that divulging into like those kind of like food style drinks is healthy for the culture?
You know, I'm gonna say yes, because I'm such a traditionalist that we need new things, we need new trends, we need new stuff to make sure we know what the traditional stuff is. And so I'm not gonna drink that. I'm never gonna drink something like that. That reminds me of like, it reminds me of like a Starbucks like Frappuccino. Like they were making all those crazy drinks.
Like that unicorn drink, or
the unicorn. Dude,
that
unlocked. That's crazy.
Dude, this is not coffee, but when Burger King had like their orange burger or something like that,
it had something.
The charcoal burger or something like that. Yeah,
I can't. But we need that to make sure we can differentiate what is real per se, or like
that's a respectable answer. You know, because I always tell people this all the time, like sometimes you need to have these extremes so you know where the middle is at.
Exactly. So you have a firm opinion on what you like, and what where it came from. And
you guys, whoever makes that barbecue latte, you guys better credit me right now. Here's another one. What's a crazy flavor? Cotton candy works.
What? Cotton candy?
Cotton candy into a latte? It seems like
Actually, that seems kind of doable.
I was gonna say, that seems like that unicorn drink. Like thinking of a unicorn just sounds like cotton candy.
You know what I actually really liked from Starbucks? I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I really love the s'mores Frappuccino.
Okay.
I fucked with that so bad. I was on it every summer.
Everyone at work loves their caramel praline or praline something.
Praline coffee roast?
That's the one. They love that flavor. You know what? I don't drink a lot of Starbucks. I think I've had Starbucks once, hated it. But the one things that I fuck with, those little like double shot espresso cans with cream. Oh. They're like
I haven't tried it.
Sweet enough to where I can shoot it and I'm like, you know what? I'm fucking good right now.
We're gonna start talking about Starbucks. This is local.
Hashtag Starbucks. You know, sponsor us, please, at Houston Coffee Collective. But I think, how do you feel about this podcast right now? How do you feel? you continuing on for our fans and bringing
yeah.
them new interviews.
I think that'd be really cool, especially with the owners, but also like roasters. We have a lot of like local one person operation roasters, but also like baristas. You know, they don't have to like tell us like any horror stories or anything, but I would love to like hear like how long they've been in the industry, if they've ever dreamed about having a coffee shop, is there anything in the works, or are they just here for a temporary time and like waiting it out?
We do have like obviously our audience can let us know who they want to see.
That's true.
Obviously, with respect to being in Houston, they'll be typing in like, I don't know, I'm just gonna name a random name, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it's like, yeah, you'll talk to him. It's like, brother, how? Bro. Be realistic. Be for real. Let us know who you guys would like to see on the couch. Never mind. That sounded so odd. Who would you like to see on camera with me or Lexa, or who do you guys think yaps the most? It's me.
I don't yap.
It's me. When Asia posted that on Instagram, everyone voted for me, and
both
you know what?
Are quiet. I don't want to hear it.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't vote. I was like, nah, none of them.
I'm not a yapper. You heard it here first.
Nah. Yeah, he's not a yapper.
Do you have any thoughts, comments?
No. Great job. Huh? Great job interviewing.
Thank you so much.
Those are some good questions.
I tried my best.
Good job, Israel.
Good job, Israel. Thank you for bearing with us, and thank you to look. Our timer is done.
That's crazy.
And you were like, "Oh, we can't make 35 minutes."
I did not think we were going to make 35 minutes. I can't believe I've been here past 35 minutes.
Yep. Sorry to keep you here in your favorite coffee shop.
And my favorite. Actually, y'all should visit Eden Plant Co.
What are the hours of operation?
Hours of operation are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays, and then Saturdays we're open till 6, and Sundays we are closed.
Yeah. I work at Wild Montrose.
Okay.
Come see
hours?
10 a.m. till midnight every day.
Very nice. A late night spot.
Yeah. Late night spot. Coffee, cocktails.
Beautiful.
And certain foods. Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you, Israel, for bearing with us. We'll see you guys next time. Deuces.